Jerome Adams, the U.S. Surgeon General, said Sunday the next 2 weeks will be the hardest and saddest of most Americans' lives as the deaths from coronavirus are expected to peak next Thursday. This is going to be the hardest and the saddest week of most Americans' lives, quite frankly, Adams told Fox News Sunday. This is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment, only it's not going to be localized, it's going to be happening all over the country. And I want America to understand that, he continued in his warning to Americans. He reiterated his point during an interview with NBC's Meet the Press Sunday morning, claiming coronavirus will be the defining moment for this generation and hardest moment for many Americans in their entire lives. According to a model created by the University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, coronavirus will reach its peak on April 16 in the U.S. We really need to understand that if we want to flatten that curve and get through to the other side, everyone needs to do their part, Adams asserted to NBC's Chuck Todd. 90% of Americans are doing their part, even in the states where they haven't had a shelter in place. But if you can't give us 30 days, governors, give us a week, give us what you can, so that we don't overwhelm our healthcare systems over this next week. And then let's reassess at that point. We want everyone to understand you've got to be Rosie the Riveter, you've got to do your part, he continued. Adams was specifically responding to governors who have not yet issued stay-at-home or lockdown orders in their respective states yet. Arkansas, Iowa, Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota have no known lockdown orders in place, while Utah, Wyoming, Oklahoma and South Carolina do not have statewide orders, but some counties and cities have issued their own. All 9 states mentioned are run by Republican governors. Different states have issued varying degrees of orders for residents, including imposing fines on those who leave their residence for non-essential purposes or hold gatherings of 10 or more people. The U.S. death toll surpassed 8,500 by Sunday morning and there are more than 312,000 confirmed cases, more than any other nation is reporting. At the end of March, Donald Trump's coronavirus task force extended national guidelines to prevent the spread of coronavirus, which includes not holding social gatherings with more than 10 people and only leaving the home for essential purposes, like for food or to seek medical attention. Trump also predicted last month that the country would be back up and running like normal by Easter, which is April 12. But he very quickly walked back on that claim, admitting that the peak of deaths and cases would likely fall around Easter instead. The president announced March 29 that the administration's coronavirus task force's 15-day plan to reduce the spread of the disease is being extended 30 days, which is weeks past his self-imposed Easter deadline. The modeling estimates that the peak is likely to hit in 2 weeks, he said at the time. So, I'll say it again, the peak, the highest point of death rates, remember this, is likely to hit in 2 weeks. Nothing would be worse than declaring before the victory is won. That would be the greatest loss of all. He admitted during that briefing that his Easter deadline was just an aspiration, and now says he hopes the country will be on its way to recovery by June 1. Some states are on lockdown or stay-at-home orders past that date, like Virginia, where the directive goes until June 10. Adams is one of the familiar faces seen during the White House coronavirus task force briefings with the president, vice president and doctors Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx. Sunday is the first time in weeks Trump has not held a press briefing at the White House to update the nation on the developing coronavirus outbreak.